I want to ask you guys about each other. Not today, but the 1999, 98, 2000 version, and just kind of go down the line. Describe a young Carlos Beltran and a young Johnny Damon.
Well, Johnny hasn't changed. I mean, he's still the same, smiling, always happy, always just a go-getter, ready to play every day. Carlos, you know, from the day one, he had swag. You know, you could tell it was, you know, he was confident in himself, and you need that to play baseball on an everyday basis. And you could tell, you know, it already seemed like Carlos was 6 years, 7 years into the big leagues already as a player, and he knew what he wanted to do every day, and came ready to play every day.
Carlos, how about a young Johnny Damon and a young Jermaine Dye?
Well, you know what? There's no doubt that when I first got my opportunity to come to first big league camp, and I got to see Johnny, I got to see Jermaine Dye, you know. I mean, looking at Johnny could change the game with his bat, with his speed, defensively. He was a guy that hit in the top of the lineup, and, you know, he did a lot of damage with his bat, but also, you know, he was a threat on the base path, and that's a great combination to have, you know. And Jermaine, good power hitter, who played extremely well in the outfield, Gold Glove. Not only he contributed with his bat, but also he being able to contribute with his glove throughout his career, and, you know, that was amazing. And for me, being able to be next to them, I mean, coming from Puerto Rico, I'm 21 years old, and I'm looking, you know, to my right, to my left, and I'm like, man, this is a blessing that I got this opportunity to be next to these guys.
Johnny, what about your center fielder and your right fielder?
Yeah, well, with Jermaine, I mean, he was my boy. You know, we were together in '97 to 2000, and I went off to Oakland, and Jermaine was there shortly after. So, I mean, we always hung out. He had that skill set where he can throw anybody out at the plate. Guys want to run on him, get those clutch home runs. And, I mean, that lineup we put up, I mean, it was sick. And with Beltran, I mean, I think Jermaine and I looked over in awe so many times of, you know, him going to get the ball, turning and throwing the ball to a base, and the guys have no chance to be safe. I mean, this guy was built with talent, and he had drive. You know, he should have gone in the first round. He ended up being second rounder behind another kid from Puerto Rico, and he wanted to show everyone he was the best player possibly ever from Puerto Rico. I mean, that's how good this guy was, and it was tremendous playing with him. And to be a switch hitter, to be able to go out and win the Rookie of the Year, which a lot of Kansas City Royals do, he just, you know, fit in that legacy with the Royals.
That's a future Hall of Famer in my book. I don't have a vote, but that's my opinion. Carlos, I want to ask you this. You and I talked last year in April in Houston, behind the batting cage, and I said to you, what do you tell these young guys like Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve? You know, you were the 40-year-old veteran on that team, and you said, I teach them, I tell them to trust the process, to trust themselves, which is something that Dayton Moore preached for a lot of years here when he was rebuilding. So I want to know what you, and then we'll go down the line here, what you would tell a young Carlos Beltran.
Well, you know what? I would tell him to train smart. I used to do a lot of training, and sometimes I felt that putting a lot of quantity into my works was going to make me better, but at the end of the day, I realized later on in my career that quality was more important. And you know, I really abused my lower body early in my career. Dive in every single play, I slide, and I mean, doing crazy things on the field. Being smart is something that I could tell the younger guys to you know, to be more aware of that, because of baseball is a game that, you know, you need your body in order to perform.
Johnny, what would you tell a young you? You still look like a young you, but...
Well, I'll just keep going about the game the same. I mean, I didn't kill myself during the off-season with working out. I always waited to spring training, but I think as I got older, I probably should have done more during the off-season just so I wasn't so far out. Like now I'm playing soccer. I probably should have played soccer during the off-season just to get your body in that mode. But I feel like I enjoyed myself. I felt like I played the game the right way. I hustled. Probably would have stood on the plate a little bit more so I can turn and hit a few more home runs. But, you know, 235 from a leadoff guy is not too bad. And then all the other extra bases. So I just probably wish I could have played a little bit longer. That's what I probably would change and, you know, make decisions on my own instead of relying on, you know, agents trying to put you in certain places, and especially when you become an older player, it's tough to get signed, and that's what eventually was why I stopped playing.
Jermaine, how about you?
The first thing I would say is probably, I would say it doesn't take talent to hustle. That's probably the most important thing. This game is made for you to fail. It's a lot of ups and downs. It's tough, but you can go out there every day and give it your all. And I'd probably just say, you know, make sure you take care of your body. I wish I would have, you know, probably, you know, stretched a little more, you know, ate a little better. But other than that, I mean, I don't have any regrets. And just make sure you have fun. It's still a kid's game. You know, go out there and play the game like you love it, and enjoy your teammates. I mean, don't be a teammate that you know, nobody wants to talk to. You know, pick everybody up all the time.
Well, I know that this is special because the three of you don't get a chance to be together too often, but it's really special for this franchise, for Kansas Cityans, and you all know that, having been in and out of town. But to have the three of you here this weekend is something that really means a lot to everyone, especially those that saw you all begin or almost begin your big league career here in Kansas City. So Johnny, Damon, Carlos, Beltran, Jermaine Dye, so good to have the three of you back together. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.